ASEAN in Focus, I'm Nea Mangawang, delivering to you the latest news in and around the ASEAN region. On today's headlines. The Department of Foreign Affairs reiterates commitment to protect the country's territory, but said it won't publicly condemn China. In Indonesia, prosecutors demanded death penalty for a radical cleric over his role in a 2016 terror attack. And in Vietnam, huge crowds trekked to a remote rice terraces to see a crystal cloud of shimmering beads. The Department of Foreign Affairs reiterated the country's commitment to protect every single inch of our territory and areas which we have sovereign rights over. But it maintains that it is not the country's policy to publicize every action taken by the Philippine government whenever there are reported developments taking place in the West Philippine Sea and the South China Sea. The statement was issued 2 days after the reported landing of Chinese bombers on the Paracel Islands in the South China Sea. According to the DFA, it is in close coordination with the other relevant departments and agencies and is closely monitoring developments in the West Philippine Sea and the South China Sea. It said, quote, while appropriate language, whether expressions of condemnation or concern over certain developments are clearly conveyed through diplomatic channels, it is not our policy to publicize every action taken by the Philippine government whenever there are reported developments taking place in the West Philippine Sea and the South China Sea. End of quote. This is the first time that China landed its bombers in the South China Sea. And although the Philippines has no claim over the Paracels, which China seized from Vietnam in 1974, nearly all of the Philippines falls within the radius of the bombers. President Duterte likewise asserted the Philippines' sovereignty over the West Philippine Sea. The president, however, insisted that asserting Philippine sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea meant trouble that the Filipinos could not handle. But he said he is doing something about the maritime dispute and asked the public not to believe in claims that he is doing nothing about it. Take a listen.
I told straight. Wala akong padaboy-laboy na istorya. Sinabi ko, Mr. Xi, I'm here to ask for your help. I'm going to buy guns because nahibaw na ko kung sa'y timpla sa Mindanao eh. Sabag ko kumubutuhay gini. Ayaw mugtuan na nga wala ko, gipasagda na ako. Gidiretso na ako siya. First time. Na ako, I'm going there to dig my oil. Di ba sa kinala mag-away? Bahenta, joint development, joint exploration.
Heading over to Indonesia, prosecutors demanded the death penalty for a radical cleric over his role in a 2016 terror attack committed by a group linked to a wave of suicide bombings this week. Dozens of officers from an elite unit were sent to guard the trial of Aman Abdurrahman, who is accused of authorizing a gun and suicide attack in Jakarta 2 years ago that left 4 attackers and 4 civilians dead. They were the first attacks claimed by Islamic State in Southeast Asia. Abdurrahman, considered the de facto head of all IS supporters in Indonesia, is also the spiritual leader of local extremist network Jamaah Ansharut Daulah or JAD. Authorities said JAD was behind the 2016 attack and suicide bombings in Surabaya last week. It might be recalled that 2 families, including a 9 and 12-year-old girl, blew themselves up at churches in a police station, killing 13. Authorities have not charged Abdurrahman over last week's attacks, but prosecutors called for Abdurrahman to be executed for the 2016 attacks. Abdurrahman is already in jail on a separate terror conviction. In Malaysia, newly released Malaysian political heavyweight Anwar Ibrahim says he will be back in parliament very soon. Anwar's future, after his release, is still in Mahathir Mohamad's hands. His elevation to Prime Minister, probably within the next 2 years, depends on Dr. Mahathir keeping his promise to stand aside as leader of the governing Pakatan Harapan coalition. Take a listen.
I told Dr. Mahathir he should feel free that to continue to manage the affairs of this country. I will support him. But of course I will also express my views strongly, but particularly if I feel there is some some elements within the administration is trying to derail the process.
Okay.
I should be an MP much earlier. I think give me a few months, I should be back as an MP. It's perfectly the correct thing to do. But as I said to Dr. Mahathir, I'm not intending to join the cabinet. I don't know whether he has changed to what extent, but I'm interested in his commitment to the reform and the action he has taken. For example, the MACC, Anti-Corruption Agency, was never against him or harassing him, but he still removed the head.
Ibrahim also said he expects ex-Premier Najib Razak to be jailed over multi-billion-dollar graft claims. Accused of overseeing the plundering of State Fund 1MTB, Najib's position has looked increasingly precarious as police carried out extensive searches of his home. Anwar predicted that Najib would likely take up the spot he had just vacated in prison.
That's why we see we're not against investment from China, but we have to renegotiate the terms because some of these deals are dubious deals conducted in a very suspicious manner. We suspect huge kickbacks for Najib personally and for the party.
ASEAN in Focus will be right back. Please stay with us.
Whoever they are, and wherever they may be, they all have the same message. Mata ng Agila, Mondays through Fridays, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Only here at Net 25.
Kapag sumasapit na ang buwan ng Abril hanggang kalahatian ng buwan ng Hunyo, ay naitatala ang pinakamaiinit na temperatura sa ating bansa. Ito ay nakababahala sapagkat ang sobrang init ng araw ay nakapagdudulot ng sakit sa katawan ng isang tao. Isa na rito ang tinatawag na heat tetany. Ang heat tetany ay isang medical condition na dulot ng matinding sikat ng araw. Tinatamaan ito ang mga taong mayroong tinatawag na mahabang exposure sa matinding sikat ng araw o sa matataas na mga temperatura. Narito ang ilan sa mga sintomas ng heat tetany. Nahihirapan sa paghinga, pamamanhid, matinding sakit sa kalamnan. Maaari itong malunasan sa pamamagitan ng pag-aalis sa apektadong tao sa sobrang init o sikat ng araw. Makatutulong kung mabibigyan ito ng maalwang kapaligiran para makapagpahinga ng maayos. Ngayong panahon ng tag-init, ugaliin natin ang pagdadala ng payong o anumang pananggalang sa tindi ng sikat ng araw. Lagi ring maging updated sa mga balita tungkol sa panahon lalo na sa temperatura. Abangan ang iba pang mga tips para makaiwas sa sakit na dala ng sobrang sikit ng araw dito lang sa Net 25.
Pep News, Linggo, alas 4 hanggang alas 5 ng hapon.
Welcome back. The two police women who were abducted some 2 weeks ago in Sulu by suspected Abu Sayyaf group members were rescued on May 19 and were formally turned over to President Rodrigo Duterte in Davao City. The two PNP personnel were rescued with the assistance of Moro National Liberation Front or MNLF Chair Nur Miswari, who was reportedly personally requested earlier by the President to help in the captives' safe return. Presidential Peace Advisor Jesus Dureza, accompanied by Miswari, personally fetched the two PNP officers in Jolo on Saturday. Also present during the handover were AFP Chief of Staff Carlito Galvez, PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde, and Sulu Task Force Head General Cirilito Sobejana. Police Officer 2 Benny Rose Alvarez and Police Officer 1 Dina Gumahad, along with two civilians, were abducted by armed men on April 29 in the town of Paticul. They had just come from Camp Teofilo Bautista near the Jolo Airport when their tricycle was waylaid by suspected members of the Abu Sayyaf group. Authorities in Sulu said the two police officers underwent medical examination and military debriefing. Sobejana said military operations have been heightened to rescue the remaining kidnapped victims in the island. Last week, a number of Abu Sayyaf members were killed following a rescue attempt by the military. Meanwhile, police have discovered a new channel being used to smuggle Rohingya from Thailand to Malaysia, according to a Malaysian media report. The new way, known as Rohingya Express, ferries illegal ethnic Rohingya in specially modified express buses in Bangkok to the southern provinces near the Thai-Malaysia border before smuggling them into Malaysia. Thai police discovered that human trafficking syndicates were using several express buses plying the Bangkok-Hat Yai routes were modified to have a secret compartment to conceal illegal Rohingya for the southbound journey. The police have already identified a foreign man who masterminded the trafficking of Rohingya to southern Thailand using express buses and were in the midst of tracking him down to facilitate investigations. Also involved in the operations were Thai officials from the Department of Land Transport, who confirmed the existence of the specially modified buses. In Cambodia, 5 people, including a 4-year-old child, were killed instantly in a lightning strike in southwestern Cambodia as the onset of the rainy season draws near. Police Chief for Minor Crimes Lê Meng Lang said the group was sheltering from a downpour in a mountainous area of Koh Kong Province's Tamar Baing district on Thursday. He said that 3 victims were from the same family. The tropical Southeast Asian country of winding rivers and lakes is prone to lightning storms, a problem that some believe is worsening with the ravages of climate change. KOV, a spokesman for Cambodia's National Committee for Disaster Management, said the number of lightning deaths has now reached 50 people since January, while 41 died last year in the same period. The strikes also hit livestock, killing 36 cows since January. We'll be back after this break. Stay tuned.
With gorgeous white sandy beaches that stay cool to touch even on the hottest summer days, blue-green ocean waves, and the warm ocean breeze, there's no wonder why Dr. Beach is named Siesta Key, Florida, the #1 beach in the United States. Don't forget to watch episodes of Digital Next every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. I'm Melissa Protest, coming to you from Siesta Key, Florida, and I am 1 with 25.
Isang malinis sa paraan ng transportasyon ng pagbibisikleta. Bukod sa wala itong ibinubugang emisyon gaya ng mga sasakyan, maliit din lang ang inuokupan nitong espasyo. Maganda rin ito sa kalusugan. At mabisang ehersisyo para maiwasan ang mga sakit. Pero hindi pa rin handa ang bansa na isama bilang uri ng transport mode ang mga bisikleta. Sa datos kasi ng Metropolitan Manila Development Authority o MMDA, nitong 2015, 26 na nagbibisikleta ang namatay sa kalye dahil sa bulguan, habang 732 naman ang nasugatan. Kaya naman dapat ding pagtuunan ng pansin ang paglikha ng bike lanes para mas maging ligtas ang pagbibisikleta. Bilang isang alternatibong transportasyon, malaki ang maitutulong ng pagbibisikleta hindi lamang sa ating kalusugan, kundi maging sa ating kapaligiran. Ako si Mylene Mariano Rivera, kaisa sa pagsusulong ng paggamit ng bisikleta at paglikha pa ng mga bike lane sa bansa.
Mga isyung panlipunan. Mga isyung pampolitika. Tatalakayin, lilinawin, kasama ang mga batikang komentarista, Congressman Dante Marcoleta at Jen Sobartiaga, itinanghal bilang Best Public Affairs Program ng 31st PMPC Star Awards for TV.
Nakita ngayon siguro ng PMPC na talagang merong interaction mula sa atin at saka yung publiko. Talagang natatalakay na mabuti ang mga isyong dapat na pagsaligan sa araw-araw.
Yan pala yung talagang tumutugon yung salitang public affairs. Di ba yung pakikipag-ugnayan sa publiko?
Sa ganang mamamayan. Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga.
Landmarks, Linggo, alas 6 hanggang alas 7 ng gabi.
Welcome back. The new owner of Cambodia's beleaguered Phnom Penh post denies links to the country's authoritarian government and defended a stormy takeover which saw journalists resign en masse over fears for editorial independence. The May 4 takeover of the English language daily by Malaysian investor Siva Kumar G, after he purchased the paper last month, sent a shudder of dread through advocates of free expression in the kingdom, where Premier Hun Sen has crushed all criticism in the run-up to July elections. The buyer also owns Asia PR, a company that once worked for Cambodia's government, steering alarm over apparent closer links with the ruling party. Hun Sen has dismantled the fragile democracy's once vibrant media scene over the past year, with the Post one of few remaining watchdogs in the graft-riddled country. The paper's main rival, the Cambodia Daily, was among media closed last year as part of a wider crackdown on critics ahead of 2018 polls that Hun Sen is determined to win. A combative press conference Friday, Siva said he took over Asia PR in 2011, long after any business it might have had with Hun Sen's administration, insisting no ties remain.
I've not done any work with the Cambodian government. Under my watch, that is. That's why I stated explicitly in my statement that I'm taken aback by all these implications and insinuations. To answer your question, there was no government involvement. I don't know what you meant by government. This is primarily a entrepreneurial decision. So I wish to clarify there is no government involvement. So I'm not here to argue the ethics, but from where I come from how I was trained, we report the facts.
Meanwhile, President Duterte congratulated the Cebuanos for the oil and gas production in Alegria, Cebu. The president led the ceremonial opening of the oil and gas production of the Alegria oilfield Polyard 3 well site. President Duterte said Cebuanos can now move forward with their own supply of oil to support the province's economic development. The president said Cebu should ensure that its internal oil requirement is secured first. He, however, reminded Cebuanos not to forget to share the resources to nearby provinces like Bohol, Negros, and Leyte.
Madato yun ang inyong lifestyle mas taas. Luoy ko na. So, prepare for a massive migration. Ang tao basag asa tong kwarta mo tapog gina. Mudagan ang squatters, pero gaba lang. Kung tabangan ninyo, pagpreparar na mo mga relocation.
The oil and gas field currently operates under Petroleum Service Contract number 49 and is being operated by service contractor China International Mining Petroleum Company Limited for 25 years. The oil field is discovered to have an estimated 27.93 million barrels of oil, with a possible production recovery of 3.35 MMBO, or a conservative estimate of 12% of total oil in place or reserves. For natural gas, about 9.42 billion cubic feet reserves were found, with a recoverable resource estimated at 6.6 BCF, or about 70% of total natural gas in place or reserves. But currently, the oil and gas field is only producing oil at 200 barrels per day from 6 wells, and will add more wells to produce 1,000 barrels per day. Finally, in today's program, huge crowds trekked to the remote rice terraces of northern Vietnam Saturday to see a crystal cloud installation featuring 58,000 shimmering beads aimed at boosting tourism in a region better known for agriculture than bling-inspired public art. Local farmers mingled with curious tourists to capture photos of the netting decorated with Swarovski crystals and draped over towering bamboo and steel poles on the top of the terraced hill in Yanbai province. Some were in awe of the unexpected display in the far-flung rice field.
Cái này là quá độc đáo luôn, tại vì chưa bao giờ thấy một cái trang trí mà cái triển lãm hay là cái gì đó mà nó ngoài trời kiểu này. Cái ánh mặt trời nó chiếu xuống nước nó phản ánh lên cái vale này. Đứng góc này có thể là trên hình ảnh không thấy được, nhưng mà đúng thực tế mà khi ánh nắng mặt trời chiếu xuống thì đúng là tuyệt vời.
Là chủ yếu lên chỉ bên cái mà nhiều sau này cũng tự nhiên sau đó là cho dùng cầu cho đi chơi là xe cái là sử dụng xe thì đi chơi tôi cũng xe đăng ký là gì. Giờ hay là dùng một gì là dùng xe cho đi chơi dùng nha. Là gì thì là gì chứ là gì thì cũng xe. Đó là dùng đi chơi từ xe là dùng cũng xe là gì chứ là đây. Đi chơi từ xe đây. Sử dụng dùng xe từ xe cũng xe nha.
Đến đây một ngày thì chỉ nhìn qua thôi, nhưng đến đây làm một tháng thì nó là hoàn toàn một cái ý nghĩa rất là một cái ký ức rất là tuyệt vời. Thì chúng tôi hy vọng là đây là một dự án đầu tiên làm ở Việt Nam, thì cái này là một giấc mơ sẽ mãi mãi không quên.
Vietnam is racing to develop its tourism sector in a bid to boost its economy and catch up with more popular Asian destinations like Thailand and Malaysia. Organizers said they hope to take up tourist visits to Yanpai and open dialogue to create arts in public spaces. The Crystal Cloud display is open until the beginning of harvest season in October. And that is the latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Nea Mangawang, always one with 25.
Hindi lamang bagyo at pagbaha ang dapat na paghandaan ng taong bayan, kundi maging ang lindol. Ayon sa PBOX, hindi alam kung kailan tatama ang isang malakas na lindol o the big one sa oras na